Okay, let's go live. Namaste on the last day of March 2019 in the Southern Hemisphere. And what a cracker of a morning it started out to be. This is a nice change to what we've been experiencing. A really nice change. It was 13 degrees on the bike this morning, which is about 9 degrees less than it was last weekend. We are into the autumn weather the way it should have been a month ago. And it's just beautiful. It's peaceful. There's a very nice feel in the air this morning. So this is the time of the year I love, absolutely love. And I've ridden 30 kilometres this morning, just down at South Tweed, heading north again. So I wanted to talk about a subject that I have approached from a few different directions, and the reason is because it is the most empowering discovery that I've ever come across, and I share it from time to time because the awareness that it has created for me in my understanding of myself and my understanding of how others act and react, that awareness is just so empowering and is just so life-changing that it is something that I would share every day if people wanted to listen to it, because it would possibly be the most beneficial discovery that I've made. I'd have to say it is the most beneficial. I can't think of anything that would be more beneficial. So on this beautiful autumn morning, let's talk about what I call response ability, which is the word, obviously, responsibility, broken into two words which have a very different meaning to the original word. Now, it's fascinating to watch the responses on social media to the posts that I post. It's a fascinating study and insight into people's response ability, and that is something that we are all born with, that we all have this power, this free will to choose how we respond to everything happening in our lives. And this is so empowering that it can shift dramatically the way we live our life and very importantly, the way we react with others, so that we are no longer feeling triggered, and so we are no longer blaming others for our own decisions. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our opportunity, our chance to choose how we respond between the stimulus and between the stimulus and our response is the space, however brief it may be, for us to choose how we respond to the things happening in our life. This is the immense power that we carry that sadly most of us misuse, because most of us give this power away, attributing other people, or giving it away to other people, saying that they are responsible for the way that we are feeling, or the way we are thinking, which of course is so absurd. It's beyond ridiculous. It's just so absurd. You cannot. Your feelings are your feelings. Nobody else puts them in there for you. Nobody else creates them for you. They're your thoughts. They're your feelings. They're your response to the things that are happening in your life. When we blame people A little bit of wind here. When we blame people for our own thoughts and feelings that we chose to think and feel, we have set up a precedent, we have given away our power, and it really puts us in a situation we have disempowered ourselves. Now, we do this because we don't have the awareness of how things work when we do something like that. So with awareness, we can learn how things work, and we can shift, we can change. We can see that the pattern that we were following was not productive for us, that it was in throwing our energy away and blaming others for how we think and how we feel and how we respond. In doing that, it's a cop-out. It's something that we can never grow from. So we have a natural ability to choose how we respond. And this topic is the most empowering discovery that I have made, and it's something that took me a long time, a very long time, to understand, to accept. I mean, I'm talking, it took many, many, many decades, and that's why I think it's important to keep repeating the same information in different ways, so that it gets into our head for those that have not embraced this understanding. Because what it allows us to do is take back our power and attribute the blame for the way that we think and feel, I'm using the word blame, on the only person that's responsible for it. That's ourselves. Now, responsibility does come in two parts. There is the original part of the word, responsibility, which means we are responsible for the way that we act towards others, which means we should always act in a state of compassion and kindness. So that's a given. But we are not responsible. I'm not responsible for how you react or respond to. I can't control the way you react or respond. I can certainly control the way I act towards you, and in the same way you can actually do the same thing as well towards myself or others, and therefore I can respond. I can choose to respond in many different ways. And what I've seen repeatedly when I post on topics on my page, especially controversial ones, which, you know, aren't intentionally controversial. They're informational, and depending on where the person is at determines how they respond, depending on their life journey, their lessons, their upbringing, how they perceive the world, how they feel, how we feel that we've been treated or mistreated, which is a really big one, because when we give our power away, we blame others for the way that we have reacted and responded to the events in our life. There is no way that we can grow in that situation. So the first part of the word responsibility, or the first meaning of responsibility, is that we do have responsibility to be compassionate and kind as much as possible to those around us, to act as ambassadors of compassion. The second part is we also have the ability to choose how we respond to people acting towards us, especially if they act in a way that we judge is not good or healthy or whatever. We can certainly act with assertiveness. Good morning, my love. I'm glad you're finally on. Nice to know you're watching. We can certainly react with assertiveness towards somebody that is behaving in a manner that is not particularly great for us or for themselves. We can certainly be kind and compassionate with strength and we can communicate with them that their behaviour is not appreciated and it's not helpful. But we can do it in a, as I say, in a assertive way, not in an aggressive way, because that just creates a false ego conflict, which becomes a blockage that breaks down communication or blocks communication. And also, if we're submissive, then that sets up that's a decision we made to not stand up for ourselves, and that sets up an energy pattern which has a lot of resentment around it, which is a negative energy, which ties in with anger and depression and similar negative energies. So, to understand, I'll keep it brief today, to understand our responsibility is to understand that we have an incredible, all of us have an incredible ability to choose the way we respond, and we have an incredible responsibility in the way we respond. So think about this different definition of the word responsibility. It is our responsibility that determines how we live our life, how our ability and how we respond to events determines how we live our life, and how we achieve, how we see others, how we take back our power, and we rapidly begin to move forward then. So thank you for watching. I hope wherever you are that the autumn weather is as good as the autumn weather is here, because it really is a spectacular morning. I've taken some great photos. I'm looking across at some beautiful clear sky, and yeah, I'll upload them later. So remember to live vegan and save lives, and thank you for watching, and most especially thank you for watching my love. I'll speak to you soon. Ahimsa.